Hello, good morning, and thank you for taking your time today to benefit by joining one of IAMS's webinars. We do these daily. If you are in a habit of checking our YouTube site, many of the presentations we do and training are out on our educational portal slash YouTube site, as the kids call it. If you go into IAMS Inc. on our website and go ahead and sign up, you'll have access to the search engine, and you can type in anything from Roth IRA conversions to tax benefits with long-term care insurance for 2024, and you'll get a slew of sorted webinars we've done in the past. So without further ado, we have some people on the webinar, which is also being simulcast. Their future forwarded out to those who request it that may be new with us. We have some agents that have been with us for some time, and we also have some that are kicking the tires, and hopefully we'll get you the information you need to make a beneficial decision for your practice, and it's mutually beneficial for us. So welcome aboard. I'm going to go through the new producer bonus program with IAMS, highlight. Anything I talk about today is going to be sent out to you in detail, and then also if you have questions, please reach out to myself, Justin Ford, Sales Director for Annuities, Life, and Long-Term Care Insurance Design and Income Planning at IAMS, and reach out to myself, or if you have our primary contact, like our very seasoned sales directors, Laura, Matt, the team, go ahead and reach out to them directly with questions as well. So new producer bonus, when you come on board with IAMS, if you are new with us, we have a what they call a fast start program, or what we call a fast start program. In your first 180 days of licensing with Ibexis, as an example, through our organization, so if you join a fast-growing insurance company like Ibexis, your cases for the first 180 days are going to be looked at to get an additional incentive for marketing or cash for your practice. So there's various levels in this. If you come on board and let's say you hit the 500,000 in premium level through the carriers with IAMS that you do business with, that's going to get you to the level where we're going to turn around and get you either a 5,000 piece postcard mailing, maybe cover the one that you're already doing for a workshop event that you have, or speak with you about a comparable alternative. And if you're into fun in the sun, like I am here, we can use that money towards cash or technology, or we could go ahead and send you to any Ritz-Carlton in the United States for a stay with you and a partner. So incentives for doing business faster with us, which I think works out for everyone. I'm yet to find an IMO that, or a location you don't want to go ahead and choose to do business with first before you fully commit. Writing that first case in 180 days with us, it will allow you to see everything and make the reference that you made the right decision as well. For those that once you're ongoing with us, and those of us that are already doing business, you're past your 180 days, we are going to also pay you for that too. Down here at the bottom, we call it our marketing reimbursement program. This is an ongoing account in which we place $100 in that account for cash reimbursement based off of receipts for marketing programs, anything to build your practice. For every $100,000 in annuity, indexed annuity premium, it's every $200 per $100,000 in single premium life. And also $200 per $10,000 of target life insurance premium. If you do whole life and want to know how that works, then or your business mix is different, we gave you just enough to call. So reach out to myself. I'd be happy to answer any questions, or your primary director here. Many of us that are new in the room may be referrals. Much like your practice, I imagine, we operate heavily. You wouldn't be surprised off of referrals here. Appreciate that. We pay agents for referrals. $50, and the way that works is every agent you refer, you get a one-time bonus of $50 to refer that agent. Once they contract, my team will reach out to them, or myself. We'll go ahead and get them taken care of and onboarded. We'll get you a check for $50, and then thousands beyond that, because as they start writing, any case they write while they're with IAMS, doesn't matter if it's 80, 20 years in the future, you're going to get paid on that case out of our pocket, additional premium. They're going to get their full compensation. You'll get paid yours, but we're going to pay you from our pocket a trail of basis points based on their production you see on the screens there. So endless amount of money for referring people to a great network, and also adding additional beneficial people to rub elbows with in your producer group. Appreciate you building IAMS with us. Back office support. Our service level, and I've worked and consulted in multiple IMOs, started out with the proprietary IMOs with a carrier, Allianz, you may be familiar with. I've had the opportunity in the business to kind of go a little bit of everywhere, and one of the differences with IAMS, or one of their primary sales advantages with us, now that I'm part of the team here for 4 years going October, is highly rated in service, and I can see why. As a competitor, working with IAMS as a competitor, I always heard that. Now I know it to be true. Service levels here are very high. We strive for what we call a 2-ring guarantee. We're the only organization in the industry that answers the phone live. You do not have a voicemail system with us, and that's on purpose. When you call in, you're going to get an answer you need, or have the ability to get a call back from who you'd like to speak to when you'd like to talk to them. We are also, I'm finding, one of the only insurance providers open during unique times. As an agency, Steve sets us up. We try to make sure that we have phone coverage here, even on Fridays. Imagine that. Financial professionals do work on Fridays. No offense to those companies that shut down early, but we are here. So we want to be here for you, help you work smarter and not harder. We have an entire case design team that are based off of, they each have ownership over a particular carrier relationship. As an example, Lori here in the office, Lupe, work with Ibexis. And what that means is they have a unique, direct, personal relationship with processors and their administration team and their leaders like John, who we're going to hear from today, and primarily his staff and his team, so that when there is an issue, it can be quickly solved. Now, I have to say with Ibexis, as we'll learn a little bit later here, asking the question and getting a prompt response earlier than you expected is what to expect with them. I'm very happy to see that, but sometimes things happen, and we're here to help. That way, our individual sales reps and our admin teams work with those carriers. We have paperless contracting. If you'd like to appoint today, there's a link that you're going to be receiving in the email to just go ahead and add Ibexis to your list of ongoing products, and we'll be talking about that soon. Website, everything and more on our website. If you haven't gone through our website, or it's been a while and you'd like an orientation, I'll send over to you a presentation that my colleague Beth Rickliffs, our life insurance sales director, did recently going through that, and I'd be happy to have your sales director set one up with you or go through it myself. But everything from phenomenal calculators, excellent tools. We subscribe for you to what we call our marketing sales library. This is a Google service for financial services. You can simply log on here, type in, as an example, IRA, beneficial IRA, or beneficial IRA rules for 2024. Or buy-sell agreements, any type of tax situation, or trust titling within an annuity. It's going to pull up a document that is not only IRS or run by the CPA and compliant, accurate for the current year, but we have the ability of customizing that for you. You can upload, or we can have your logo and your material put on it, so that you can provide professional answers to highly technical questions, and truly show the client the effort you put in to get to that point. So there's no anonymous giving, and valuable resources out there. If you haven't taken a look at it, definitely do so. It's free for you if you're licensed with IAMS. Oops. And in addition to that, when it comes to what rubber meeting the road, when we talk about submitting those applications, as an example with Ibexis, we're going to be talking about today, they are approved on Firelight, one of the industry's most I would say consistent annuity e-application software program, if you'd like to call it that. Great solution. Bottom line is, Ibexis as a carrier does things other than most on Firelight, but Firelight alone reduces errors to a point of 99% error-free submission. So there's no NIGOs, less going back and forth. And then the carrier, how they logistically set up to partner with the puzzle piece of these e-application programs makes a huge difference. I'm sure we can all count out differences out there. Ibexis is one that is on the positive side of that fence, getting cases paid very quickly once the business comes in, and how they process it. So more companies being added every day. We do iPipeline for IGO for our term insurance and many life insurance companies, and Sunfire is a new platform. If you do business with a carrier, ask us about it. We either have it, can get them, or can give you a reason why you may want to consider keeping it where it's at. In addition to that, the company may be on our digital platform, which is great. Going into IAMS and our website, we just launched a system on our site where it's being updated daily. But what it is doing is, when you write business with IAMS through your carriers, you have a snapshot into every policy that you've written with multiple carriers. The future, which is coming up relatively quickly here, those cases will have communication tied to them. You'll essentially be able to go on one place on IAMS's website and do every one of your annual review calls, pull up statement allocation letters that go to clients. So you don't have to log into each insurance company website. You can manage your business in its entirety in one place. So ask about Luma if you have any questions on that, and as well. Digital marketing, if in addition to helping agents service and process their business, which is table stakes essentially in our IMO world, we work from a standpoint of we have our own internally built and developed, technical employees from different areas of expertise in marketing to build a in-house advertising agency that does not necessarily, is not a revenue source for IAMS. What that means is it allows me to take our override and allocate those override dollars to expenses that you as an agent may have to integrate helping you within marketing. So that may go to reduced costs on seminar marketing. It may go to paying a graphic designer to update your website. These are services that are free based on your production through IAMS. And then we also have some that you can opt to pay for. Everything from the simplest business card all the way up through the most digital or the most advanced online search engine optimization. I know we do geocaching location for if you have a company in a certain area where they're going to be laying off a major set of group employees. We have the ability to, within a radius of that building or a location the employees typically hang out, we have an ability to change every advertisement that they have on their current social media and Google accounts to lead up to you as the advisor working with that company to market you within the account as the transfer for IRA leads. That is something that we do as well. So make sure to ask your primary contact here about getting your practice evaluated. We'll do a complete marketing analysis, which is a series of detailed yet very important questions about listening to you. So it's a one first call. We listen to you the entire call, asking you questions about your practice. Take those notes and we turn those in and set up the second call to our advertising team. Our marketing and advertising team will go through and put together recommendations to include details step by step for you in that marketing analysis to help you with decisions on growing your practice that you're already on part of and how we can help. Ask us about a marketing analysis today. Those of you in the room that are wealth management, if you do assets under management, have your Series 65 or are looking to get that and would like to find a organization or a registered investment advisory group that understands the benefit of fixed income alternatives like annuities within a plan, our program does that. Our corporate RIA, IAMS Wealth, will also help integrate software-wise and plan-wise the annuity into the solution, which is very important. In addition to that, lower cost of fees as well for doing business with us. We'll help you with the testing if you're wanting to come on board as well. And quite frankly, if you're looking at being able to do ACAT transfers, not have to deal with fighting a transfer company, and be able to earn money on top of the money that's sitting out there and grow your practice, you may have an interest in taking a look into IAMS Wealth Management. Give me a call. We can get you set up with our recruiter, Duncan, over there to speak more. If you're interested, we'll talk about this a little bit later today when I do the survey, but we do have a Life and Annuity Academy. They're back. We have one more coming up for the year, currently doing an indexed UL one in Chicago. So if you have interest in face-to-face training, we'll be giving you opportunity to add yourself to that list here coming up shortly. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our speaker today. Today we're going to be talking with John from Ibexis. And John Hurley, excited to have you here today with us as a presenter. I'm going to switch over the screen to you and kindly let you introduce yourself for the organization. And we really appreciate your partnership here with IAMS. And Ibexis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, sir. So without further ado, I think I've got you switched over. It's just taking a second, and I'll let you go. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, and thank you so much for the time, and obviously appreciate everybody joining the call here. You know what? It just flipped me to see if I can get
maybe it worked. Yeah, I may have done something that normally I'd claim as I knew that, but I think I may have gotten it to work for us. I see your screen, my friend. I think you can operate your slides.
Okay, perfect. Well, then let's get those up. All right, how about now?
I think we're cooking here. Let's see. I can see it. Great. Excellent. Go ahead and go. Appreciate it, John. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. And there we go.
Absolutely. So appreciate everybody joining us. And, it was obvious as Justin was going through the IAMS story there, why we're so excited to partner with them. And Justin and IAMS as a whole have been a incredible partner and a key piece of us getting a fast start here. We are a newer name in the industry, but we're certainly not new to the game. Ibexis was the rebrand of what was originally Sunset Life and later Kansas City Life. They've been around for the last 50 or 60 years. They ran a block of life insurance business, and then Ibexis was the rebrand in the efforts to get into retail annuity business. And so we went live about 2 years ago, but where it really got interesting was in May when we launched some great product enhancements, and that's what we're going to spend time on today. And so, by way of introduction, again, as Justin said, I'm John Hurley. I'm the Chief Distribution Officer at Ibexis. Been in annuities for about 20 years now, and most recently spent the last 10 or 15 years at Global Atlantic. And, the choice for me to switch this year to Ibexis was a reasonably easy one. What I look for in a carrier is probably pretty similar to what you all look for in a carrier, and that's primarily great product, excellent service, and an appetite to grow in a reasonable and responsible manner. And I think what you'll find as we go through these slides here is that, it checked a lot of those boxes, if not all those boxes for me. And I couldn't be more excited to be here, and hopefully I can share some of that with you today. So, starting with the FIA Plus, this is our flagship FIA product, and I won't take you through the nuts and bolts in it, but there's a couple of things that jump out. One, we did increase the issue ages. There's 3 durations on the product. There's a 5, a 7, and a 10-year. The 5 and 7 do go up to age 85. The 10-year only goes up to 82. And then one other piece that I'll call out for you that's, of note is that we really don't, and I think you'll see as we go through, we keep the pricing and the behind-the-scenes options investments super tight on this product. And for that reason, with no fees, we rarely budge on that $25,000 minimum. So to the downside, you do need $25,000 to get in. But we will give full comp and no prior approval needed on up to $1.5 million. So with those as kind of the table keeping notes, as I said earlier, where this really got interesting and where our sales have really taken off in the industry is Ibexis was able to do a couple of things by being a more recent entrant to the FIA space. One was we got to see what clients and ultimately advisors like yourselves are looking for. And that tends to be a premium bonus, and not only an attractive premium bonus, but one with no cost. You'll also notice in that left side box of premium bonuses that we offer them on all 3 of our CDSC or durations. We offer a 8% premium bonus on the 5-year, which is extremely uncommon in the industry. Typically, you see premium bonuses on a 10-year product and only a 10-year product. We offered on all 3, which is really, positioned us nicely. But then even up to the 10-year, you see a 16% premium bonus. That's real dollars in the client's account day 1. That's at 0 cost. So it's still a pure FIA product with zero cost. They can't lose $1, but they book a 16% win no matter what year 1. The other thing we changed is, really one of the most attractive reasons I came to Ibexis. I came from a company that had extremely high renewal rate integrity. And what I mean by that is the rate you offer on your caps and your par rates and your spreads, how likely are you to keep that? And so, I come from Global Atlantic, where they've had a long history of 100% renewal rate history. More importantly, our chief actuary, Alex Rupelli, was the chief actuary of Global Atlantic prior to joining Ibexis as well. And, that's important to us. That's how we price product. We are looking for 100% renewal rate history, and we build and price product in that fashion. But again, our FIA, like, almost every FIA, there's still a trust factor built in there. And so one of the things Alex did that I think is a great product design is we increased the bailout rates to the very highest the state regulators will let you set them without having, impact on capital withholdings and some pricing assumptions. And so those bailouts should be just about the highest you'll see in the industry, if not the flat out highest. And, that's just more peace of mind, right? We've all seen with other carriers where due to legacy assets or some challenges in the macro environment, those renewal rates get set at extremely low rates. What you know about with Ibexis going in is we're going to have industry-leading bailout rates, in addition to we put in writing our commitment to strong renewal rate integrity. We aim for 100%, and obviously that's important to us as a newer carrier. But we set those bailout rates where, regardless of how you're allocated, whether it's S&P or some of our more bespoke options on some bank par rates, what you'll see is that every year on the contract anniversary, if the S&P is lower, at or lower than the bailout rate, regardless of how you're allocated, the entire contract becomes 100% liquid. You can leave with gains and with earnings, no MVA, no surrender charges. It becomes 100% liquid. So that's a nice added peace of mind that we had built into the product. And then we also add what we call our annual declared rate. And I call it out because, one, the rates are good, but we're also seeing it utilized pretty heavily in conjunction with the premium bonus. And so we'll spend time on that, but it works the way you would expect it to work. It's a fixed bucket on the FIA where you're earning a rate that's reset every year, but you can move in and out of it as you choose. And so 4 ideas here, right? And if you're like me, the first time you look at this, it can be a little overwhelming, right? There's a lot more numbers than you see in a typical FIA rate sheet, and we'll spend time on that. But what I want to call your attention to is just what we call the 0% floor. This is a standard vanilla FIA that works just the way you would expect it to work, and you see the different rates there for the 5, 7, and 10 year. But in that 0% floor, that is just a simple FIA, right, with a 1075 cap, and that is net of the craziness in the markets. We dropped rates yesterday. So 1075 is a really attractive 5-year cap on a 0% floor. We do offer, and we can spend some time on that, where if you or the client have an appetite to increase your caps or par rates by taking a more negative floor, you can expose gains and gains only. And again, that's flexibility and optionality that we like in lower interest rates environments. But what we're seeing more often than not is just this product being used, given how high caps and spreads are and rates and par rates. We're seeing this used just for the 0% floor. So idea number 1, keep it simple. Don't even worry about the negative floors. Buy this for what it is, a 0 floor FIA that works really well with some great options. Idea number 2 is just the really simple premium bonus, right? And so, as mentioned, we offer an 8% premium bonus on the 5-year. That's got a 775 cap on the 0 floor. If the 10-year or a max premium bonus is what you and the client are interested in, you do see the rates are a bit lower, due to some funkiness in the inverted yield curve market. But the way that works now, right, is the way that most people's works. The higher the premium bonus, the more you give up in cap. There's no fee per se. The cost is in lower caps. So you see the 16% premium bonus on the 10-year equates to a 675 cap on the S&P. The 8% premium bonus on the 5-year equates to a 775 cap. So those first 2 examples are just, kind of your plain Jane, more common ways of using the product. An example here that we're seeing actually upwards of probably, I think last month it was about 43% of flows. What we're seeing is the combination of that premium bonus with the annual declared rate. Folks are going in year 1, they're taking that 16% premium bonus and then allocating 100% to the annual declared rate. You bank almost, as you can see there, just short of a 20% win year 1, and then figure out from there, right? Whether it's back into the S&P, whether it's a blended approach, whether it's exploring some negative floors, you figure it out from there. But what's really attractive is whether it is, getting out of a bad product that has problematic caps, or maybe the client situation changed, or just somebody that has, uncertainty in the market. They're not necessarily sure what equity markets and rates are doing, they're booking that big win year one by going with the 16% premium bonus and then pairing that with the annual declared rate so that, you know, worst case scenario, start of year two, you're up almost 20%. The other area we're really starting to explore in partnerships with our bank partners is, you know, I think the common way of looking at FIAs has been it's a 0% floor, so let's just go all into the S&P. And I think what you're finding is that these new generation of volatility controlled or bespoke indexes have really performed well both up and down. And so one of the things we're trying to get better at is help you with tools that make that case to the client of why diversification matters. And so you see just in three options here, right, with a mix of the S&P, the banks, and the annual declared rate, you're doing two things by diversifying. One, you're adding performance to an FIA contract in up years. So you think about the S&P. If the S&P is up 25%, that's great, unless you're capped out at 11%, right? And so how do you continue to drive performance to an FIA contract in years where equity markets, you know, are outperforming caps? And something like, I'll call your attention to that Bank of America, the fast convergent index, as they call it. That's done really well for a couple of reasons. One, it has a 12% volatility control target, meaning it's not sitting in fixed income. It actually sits 100% in equity. And they can actually, they call it fast convergence because they can leverage up in risk-on scenarios to have over 100% equity exposure. And so you pair that with a participation rate over 100%, and it can really help in years where markets are ripping to get returns over and above what an S&P would cap out at. But then to the downside, especially as you add in some of that annual declared rate, you see the zero return probability. You know, it's no mystery to anybody on the call. The S&P tends to have a bad year once every 3 or 4 years. By adding not only a diverse mix, but a portion of the money into that annual declared rate, you drive the zero return probability year over year to zero. So up or down or in the average, you know, we think that this is a great way for clients to kind of not put all their eggs into one basket, and on the upside, continue to drive returns to a portfolio or a product of the Ibexis FIA, but to the downside, where markets do underperform, you know, still maintain a higher average and eliminate that zero return probability. So that's been, you know, another big kind of sales story that's starting to bubble up from the folks that are doing a lot of business with us. And then the final piece is maximizing return potential. And again, this is a pure risk versus return conversation with your clients. And for some folks, it's year one. For some folks, it's let's wait and see how many gains we have in the contract by year 3 or 4. But the table I'm showing you is as you have gains available, those floors unlock, right? And so in the just vanilla version of the product, if you go into just the FIA with no premium bonus, the only thing available would be the zero floor. What's interesting about the premium bonus, and the example we're showing here, is the 16% premium bonus on the 10-year. Premium bonus is not only added to the contract day one, but it's treated as gains. In other words, it unlocks those negative floors. And so what trips people up in the example we're showing is you see in year one, we add the 16%, but remember, this is an FIA and only gains can be exposed to negative floors. And so, you know, simple math, you would think, hey, I have 116,000 in the contract. Surely I unlocked the 15% floor. But remember, a 15% loss on 116 would eat into principal. So never on this contract, regardless of how many gains are in the contract, can you ever go into a floor that would invade or pierce principal. And so, you know, the nice thing is this works as flexibly as you would want it to. And so, you know, if you want to stay in the zero floor until year 5 and then move just to the 2.5 or just to the 5, that's a possibility. If you want to go into the -10 floor, year 1 with that premium bonus, keep it there for 3 years and then move all to the 0 floor, that works. And we actually can automatically escalate as well. And so, if you don't have, for example, if you didn't have the -10% floor available day 1, but that's ultimately what the client wants, you can select that at time of application. And as gains pile up in the contract, we will automatically move you to the -2.5, then the 5, then the -10 floor. So it works as flexibly as you would want it to. And again, this was a product built in a lower rate environment 2 years ago. And so, we think that this is particularly attractive as clients are buying 7 and 10-year contracts where, maybe it doesn't make a whole lot of sense today, but as interest rates change and as the environment changes, it's a product that's built really well to work today, but it works especially well as, S&P caps drop and folks are looking for additional ways to take on some more risk to add some more upside to a contract.
John, thank you. That's a really strong point, and I'd mirror that by saying, on the street end of things, as we do and as I do individual books of business analysis, which is something we'll talk about in a second. At all of you on the phone, if you've done business with IAMS, we're reviewing, as John mentioned, a lot of replacement business for positive reason. One of the reasons we hear for replacement, and John, I'll let you speak to this, is primarily this is multiple companies. The client or the agent want the opportunity for more should it present itself later. They don't want to be trapped in something where you can't have an opportunity for upside. So what I'm finding is even if they're not utilizing this feature now, just like you said, they like to know it's there, and they plan on using it. Several of the agents that began writing this product at the beginning of the year are already starting to allocate to the floor. Appreciate the bonus on that and the way that works, but it's as if without knowing it, we built a product built on what clients are looking for as we have this mass exodus of one contract to another. So I think that's a huge benefit here. In addition to that, the premium bonus and the fixed account paired together, without a fee on that premium bonus or without a spread or any type of tie to that to an income account, it's made to help people rescue, in a sense, existing contracts. And then going forward, you have the bailout rate and the ability to upgrade your cap and growth. There's not much more you could want out of this thing. So that's a really strong point you mentioned about the opening floors and their potential in the future to not have somebody trapped, I think.
Yeah, it's a great point. Our top advisor, Justin, says exactly what you said. He does exclusively. Yeah, he exclusively does his, whether it's annuity refinance or, rescue or however you want to think about it, because of the zero cost and the 16% premium bonus. He's doing all of his, book review kind of transfer, especially if there's, some lingering surrender. In his mind, Ibexis has cornered the market, right, in that business with a 16% zero fee option. But probably more importantly, he's an interesting one. He's not utilizing the negative floors at all. He's done $31 million with us year to date. And he says that while he hasn't done one yet, he talks about the negative floors in every single client meeting because he says, look, this is ultimately a jump ball winner. As we grow and as your, interest change or risk tolerance changes or as your needs and interests change, this is something that I want to maintain the ability to look at each year and decide if it makes sense. So it feels like a more customized client conversation, something that's tailored to what their needs are, especially if needs change, 5 years into a 10-year contract.
So great. It's I agree with that. That's another great point. It helps anyone, the client included, take them down the path of the proper decision process, and also has the conversation that you're going to have with them a year to 2 years from now anyway upon that first renewal. Helps reduce buyer's remorse. And I can't say that unfortunately some of that's going to be on our minds, right? As advisors, the buyer remorse many of my advisors have, which is stronger than the clients probably do, because let's face it, you work so hard for your clients, you may feel bad about something that was not your fault or a misunderstanding on the product or just the wrong timing. And so this product, I think, like you said, opens up those conversations, handles a future objection. It's just a good fit all around. But yeah, I'll be quiet and let you continue, but I had to speak for that because we are seeing
No,
so
absolutely.
much.
I appreciate you jumping in. Appreciate you jumping in.
Anytime.
And so, you know,
ahead,
yeah, exactly. Just to recap, you know, this is really the four areas that cut to the meat and potatoes of how the product works. Number one, just to review, let's keep it simple, right? Either with or without the premium bonus, it's a great product that works great as a standalone FIA. Number two is if you're looking for clients that either need to or want to book a giant win year one, pairing the premium bonus with that annual declared rate is a really good way to say, let's just put ourselves in a better position year one, and year two, we'll figure out where we go from there, right? But you know you're booking that big win year one. Number three is, you know, some of the more diversified ways of looking at investing, right, to both increase return potential and eliminate some of those probabilities of the 0% loss. And then finally, where it makes sense or where the clients have an appetite, maximize return potential with those floors. So that, in a nutshell, is the four core areas we're seeing talked about by the reps that are, you know, really have embraced this product, and we'll pass $1 billion in sales this year after just really going live with this in late April, early May. So it's been a fun ride, and you know, I think that's where it's important to talk about some of the other aspects of Ibexis. So one of the things that we do, I think, well, is partner with folks like Justin to help you get tools into your hands that make these easier, make these more client approachable. So you see on the left side, we have a one-page flyer that kind of talks through, you know, exactly why diversification from a allocation standpoint makes sense. But more importantly, you know, whether it's social media posts, whether it's ads, whether it's customizable slicks that you want to push out to your clients, whether it's seminars or ads or radio or whatever it ends up you're doing to invest in and grow your business, we provide tools, and we can work through Justin to share all those with you, you know, if that's an approach you take from a marketing standpoint. But for us, you know, great product is really the start of it. We talked early on that's kind of one leg in a three-legged stool. And so the question we get more often than not is, okay, that's a interesting, if not a great looking product. Help me understand how you got there. And so number one is pretty obvious. We are the beneficiary of not having a big block of legacy business. That does two things for us, right? One, from a pricing standpoint, we're not trying to overcome business sold, you know, in 2007, 2011, 2015 in a vastly different interest rate environment that handcuffs a lot of what you can do in totality in terms of current day new business pricing. So that's been big for us. Number two is we don't have a lot of legacy systems. I come from a big carrier. Anybody that's ever worked at a big carrier knows that, you know, there are legacy systems. They are slow and they hamstring what you're able to do. Ibexis, we had the benefit of partnering with modern, clean, new technology, and that allowed us to really streamline our operational functionality. The piece of it that probably was most questioned at the start was whether, to Justin's point, we wanted 100% digital application or not. We landed there, and I'm thrilled we did. It is just a cleaner process that gets you paid faster. It gets the client their contract more quickly. And more importantly, it just eliminates NIGOs meaningfully. And it allows us to continue to offer a great product in the market. And so that's one thing that is different about us, but that helps us deliver not only the service experience you would expect, but a strong product offering in the market. Is we are 100% e-app submission, right? So you work through IAMS and you submit exclusively through Firelight, and that is how we receive business. We don't allow for paper apps. And then kind of all that blends out, right, to lower overhead. We're a lean and mean company, and that's allowed us to really invest not only in product, but most importantly in platforms and partnerships that help us, you know, grow this business and continue to bring a meaningful product to the street for you guys. proof is in the pudding, right? Is those are a lot of words, but if you're like me, you like to see some proof of that. And so from a customer service standpoint, we answer the phone in under 16 seconds. We've got less than 1% abandon rates. But the probably most important stat that jumps out to me is how efficient we've been in helping you all get business in the door. I think, given that we are a standout product in the transfer or annuity refinance market and the book review place, as you look at this, that average time to issue transfer cases, that starts when you send us the application, and that ends when the contract is funded, the money's in the door. Industry average there is somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 to 39 days. Ibexis is at 25, right? And part of that is our, kind of automated e-app delivery system. Another piece of it is that it's just, how we've built the business from the start. We process business on Wednesdays, and then the other days of the week, we do have a full team that's eliminating NIGOs or calling out and trying to get transfers completed and across the finish line. And so you'll see, and what we've heard, from the folks that are early adopters with Ibexis is that quick turnaround time on transfer business is noticeable. And it makes a difference in terms of what tends to be everybody's largest headache is just the turnaround time on transfers in the annuity business right now. So the other piece that has been a standout process for us, and look, it's hard to get noticed in the annuity world. I've heard folks say that process is the new product because as products come and go, there's a lot of good ones out there. And so not only do we realize that customer service is important, but suitability is a piece of it that is on everybody's mind. And what I would say is Ibexis is as transparent, but more importantly, as fast as any company I've seen. So we'll do full comp on large cases up to 1.5 million. Anything over that is by, kind of ad hoc exception. And the important piece, though, on suitability is that we've got the pre-review, right? Nobody wants to talk to a client about a product that's ultimately going to get rejected. And so not only do we offer pre-review, we tend to get an answer back to you in under 2 hours. And so I've worked at organizations where that's a 48-hour turnaround. You send an email to me, to Megan, to anybody on our sales desk, you call us. We're going to ask some basics about the situation, right? What is the death benefit? What's the client income value? What is if there's any riders on it, what's the rider fee? And then more importantly, why are they looking to transfer? With just, kind of a couple of quick questions like that, on 90% of cases, we're able to get you an answer in under 2 hours on pre-suitability review. More importantly, we are about 2 weeks out from automated suitability. So we have fine-tuned this to the point where we're going to build it into Firelight, and you'll be able to get on 9 out of 10 cases an answer because, that's kind of the dirty little secret of suitability is it's inherently a gray art. And so there is no black and white, but 90% of the time, it's pretty much an obvious yes or an obvious no. It's that 10% tail that tends to slow everything down. And so we're loading an automated suitability process, simplified and quick, into Firelight that should be live probably by the end of this month, to just further improve and iterate upon, our transfer times, our new business submission times, and really the ultimate advisor and client experience in doing business with Ibexis. We are, super, super focused on being an easy company to do business with, and this is another step in that direction.
Huge step. Clap, John, from across the phone. I'd say you shoot for 2 hours, but it's been 1.5 or less. I don't want to make any promises, but that could not be said better, and a big reason why a lot of the business that we're talking about is quoted at least, once, if not written with Ibexis right now. Can't argue that going on to that next case and having that feeling that at least if it goes in and gets declined, it's because of a new nuance or a new fact that we didn't know about before, but takes away that fear with the agent right up front. And I think if we're going to be innovative company and breaking through things, I like how you took that process of a product and turned it around, because that is very helpful uh, going forward. So if you do have a book of business review, I mentioned that earlier, that IMES does those as well for your marketing in your practice, and then also for your in-force book of business. We operate seamlessly here, as John knows, with Ibexis' team, which is a big, again, part of them having a team that understands our industry and is so deeply ingrained in that. Each one of them has years of carrier background, it seems, but you guys get that and you save the agent's time in our cases. But when we do those reviews, I take a look at carrier incentives and how to promote those products. Um, ask your marketer about Ibexis and how to integrate marketing into your individual product sales, social media campaigns, and then talk with your marketer here or myself. We definitely would love to help you do that. But I'll carry on, John. I just want to mention on those reviews, we can definitely help initiate that conversation, and Ibexis will be a part of that consideration, obviously, if a fit for the client. But thank you again. Keep going.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, our CEO, Nate Jamiti, said it probably best. You can have the greatest products in the world, but if you're difficult to work with, nobody wants to do business with you. Conversely, you can have the greatest service in the world. If your products stink, nobody wants to do business with you. So it really is the balance between both of those, that is where we're trying to make a name for ourselves. And so, innovative and competitive products and programs, that's been important for us, and we'll continue to expand on that. More importantly, though, is you got to trust the financial stability of who you do business with, right? And we're A- with AM Best, and that was reaffirmed in May, and we've been A- with them from the start. And we're proud of that rating, and we've been a strong partner and tend to be so moving forward. I think probably the bigger piece, though, that was important to us is that, there's a saying in this business that if you try to be all things to all people, you end up really, not being meaningful to any. And so we're exclusively limited in who we distribute. We hand selected some core partners like Justin and IMES that do business the right way and value a annuity partner that does business the right way. And we're going to stick to that model. We're not interested in just spreading this product as wallpapered across the industry as we can. We have a very, kind of custom bespoke process and product when it comes to how you interact with Ibexis, whether that's directly with us or through the partners that we distribute through. And we intend to stick to that, right? And so these products are only available through limited distribution and great partners like IMES, which is important to us. And then just wrapping again on easy to do business with, look, that'll be a journey, not an endpoint. It's something that we're thinking about all the time. And as we view our business, we think ultimately our business will grow if we can help you grow your business, and your business will grow if we can make, doing the annuity business quick and efficient for clients that make sense with products that really put them in a better spot. So I will wrap there. I'm playing the part of Megan Easton. Megan is our fantastic VP of Sales and Marketing. She is available there either by cell phone or by email. My email is jhurley@ibexis.com, and I'm 610-306-3874. Reach out to either of us. Reach out to our sales desk. We're excited. Again, we can't thank a great partner in IMES enough. And Justin, I will turn it back to you, but thank you so much for the time, everybody.
Absolutely. John, thank you for your time and partnership. I'm going to launch a quick poll. These poll questions will be used here by your team connections here inside IMES to make sure we get you the right information first and don't provide any less than that. So without further ado here, first polling question. Would you like to add, for those of you that would like to add Ibexis to your list of approved carriers within your product portfolio, you have a section in Assurance Bay. You can do this on your own, or we can send it over to you. It is on IMES' list of proprietary or limited distribution products, as John had mentioned. So you do have access to it through setting up Assurance Bay. Just reach out to us. If you're new, I can get you a link. But we'll get you called and get the approval sent over to you for that, and that will open up access for the tools John and his team have been grateful to put together to help with that process, including the diversification tool and the social media advertising. So we're going to close that one up and go on to our next. Thank you for answering that poll, and we'll get you what you need. The next one here is for those that would like to, I'm just going to keep this general, but if you are interested in more people to see, imagine that one not being answered yes, right? If you have interest in our lead appointment programs here at IAMS, what we do is we partner with the industry's greatest vendors and lead programs as it is shared with us by the industry's top producers. I honestly can't think of a better example when John was mentioning earlier where just naturally where he's getting the ideas, this idea or this is how that product is being positioned with clients by our top submitting agent that does 31 million. I mean, that is where I want to hear information. I want to hear from the top marketers in the industry and rub elbows. I'm just done that for agents for years, and Ibexis is doing the same. So what lead programs are our people using? Would they work for you? That's a conversation we'd like to have with you if you want to indicate that there. Two versions of that. If you like to be left alone and would like to read the material and then reach out if you think it's important, let us know that too when we talk to you. Or for those of you that say, send me everything, let's talk. Either way, we're going to give you a call, and we want to help out. In addition to that, back on the advertising too, I will mention this when we talk, but we have a new concept or a new program called Annuity Rank. And bottom line is it's taking the industry and taking clients who are interested in researching because they think their annuity may be able to have a better benefit if they were to exchange it. It takes those individuals, puts them through a digital funnel, and then puts them out at the end as a lead for you to contact, highly qualified, gets you right into the conversation around reviewing contracts for possible Ibexis sale. So next question, would you like to, where these conversations happen, start, foster, elbows get rubbed? John, we can't wait to get you out to Nebraska when we have our next academy. But for those of you that are interested, agents rubbing elbows with agents in our famous academies here, we just held one in our office in IAMS. We have one available date coming up and maybe a second. Let us know, and I'll get those dates over to you in the all set up here. September 25th is the next one coming up for life and annuity. Make sure you sign up or get on the waiting list. If you show interest on this, it's basically a decision with the carrier and ourselves to get you on board, but you got to get on the waiting list. So those who haven't, just click there and we'll get you a link. So appreciate everybody's time today. Not to harp on it, but replacements, helping clients take what they had and loved about their annuity and make it work for today's world. We have a limited time to do that right now as you see these rates fall and as we see carriers react to a financially sound product and make sure that they can guarantee and provide those strong underlying guarantees. They have to make adjustments in pricing, and that's happening right now quite a bit. So there is a run on the fence. If you have an existing annuity, make sure you're reviewing them. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you all for your time. Have a great day. John, thanks as always. Have a great one.
Take care, guys.
Take care.